right. Shalom, shalom. Before we begin, we give all praise and honor and glory to and Howell by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Bukata Dash. It's Shaki Kilzil.
Brother Baka.
We're doing inside ministry today. Due to the conditions, we still, doing it as, commanded, meaning that this word is going out. Still doing the work as commanded. It's going out through the unicorn, which is the internet. Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. That's what we do the ministry for, edification.
I'll say something like about this technology that this devil is advancing and basically controlling the world. We got the world under some type of amazement, which is the artificial intelligence, which is part of the fourth industrial revolution. Artificial intelligence and robotics, which is the fourth industrial revolution. Speaking on the AI portion of it, there's an application now called Sora 2, which you look at the images that this devil the images that this devil is using on the Sora 2 app. It's more or less, it's look realistic, man. I know some brothers was putting it up. I put it up also. Because that's a scheme of the devil, more or less, because that's how the devil is gonna come with these tricks to accuse the brethren. Because he doesn't have anything. That's why this devil be causing false flag events, crisis acts. Got these agents provocateurs around. This devil got all sorts of ways to deceive people. And I was just reading out of this translation, which I don't think it's too much of a good translation, but out of Daniel chapter 8, which I'm gonna read out of this Holman Christian Standard Bible, which somebody was, I think, throwing it away or something, but I got my hands on it through the Spirit. This is Daniel chapter 8 and 25, right? Because this devil is gonna come with all types of forms of deception. Right? This is from the HCSB Study Bible. It says the Holman Christian Standard Bible. I just want to read this verse from the book of Daniel, chapter 8 and 25. It says, he will cause deceit to prosper through his cunning and by his influence, right? We'll read that again, right? It says he will cause deceit to prosper. Because basically is the point. This devil is coming with all forms of deception, and this AI technology, what they call this app called Sora 2, it was bringing out images of this guy Kobe Bryant, Tupac, Biggie, Smalls, Michael Jackson,
pretty much all the deceased entertainers.
Martin Luther King, he was they was making they got these images out and they look basically real, man. It's hard to tell real from fake, man. That's this devil. That's what this devil is trying to bring about, so he can cause more confusion and more or less blame people. If he decides he want to set you up, he can blame you through this technology, through these lies and wonders, which talks about that in Habakkuk chapter 2. through these lies and wonders that this devil is coming with, and that AI technology is what that is, man. It's that makes up that AI technology is a part of that deception. These great lies and wonders uh, that he's going to deceive the people of the world with. This is on Habakkuk, Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. It says, he will cause deceit to prosper through his cunning and by his influence. And in his own mind, he will make himself great, right? Well, that's Esau Edom, man. That's what he does. He in his own mind, he's making himself seem like he's he's great. He's a great person. He's this marvelous, magnificent being, but he's the devil, man. Law-abiding in his own mind. He's deceiving himself. He got himself deceived. He think he's coming out, making people believe himself too, that he's some law-abiding, upstanding, quality, person. But he's not. He's the devil. He's the wicked, It says, he will cause deceit to prosper through his cunning and by his influence. And in his own mind, he will make himself great. He will destroy many in a time of peace. He will even stand up against the prince of princes, yet he will be shattered, not by human hands, right? So we know this was in ancient times. This happened to Antiochus, I think that's what his name was. Edomite ruler. I think during in the book of Maccabees, But this is Esau Edom's mannerism. This is how he's gonna come in the spirit of this again, and that's what he's doing. He's coming in the same spirit at ancient times, right? So this double, you got all forms of deceit. And like if you haven't seen it yet, I suggest that you look that up. It's called Sora, CORA2, the number 2. Sword, it's a sword, and this double that's why he's a technique that I perceive through the spirit. A lot of brothers already been said it, that he's going to use to try to blame certain men. Because this devil doesn't got anything out there. All we do is teach the Bible. We don't condone any type of violence. We live abiding as the Lord said, abide by the authority. We live law abiding. Especially once we came into this truth. Understand it. Understood what was going on. Especially the man that's in this truth faithfully. So this devil, he doesn't have anything that he can incriminate us. So he got to make something up, And through this AI technology, that's very much possible, man. It's technology, man.
I got a precept with the book of Isaiah 32, start at 6. It says, "For the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord, to make empty the souls of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail." The instructions, so like the instruments also of the cruel, no, it's like that instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right.
So you got lying words. So basically, that's what this devil's gonna do. He can use the AI technology. And then he say he's gonna accuse through lying words, through false images, that he created to accuse the brethren, like it says in the book of Revelation. the accuser of our brethren is cast down. You know, so this devil, he's always been doing this to Jake anyway. You know, that's why this lifestyle, we go in this a lot. You know, that lifestyle, this black hip hop lifestyle, was created to destroy you and accuse you. You know, it's not a prosperous way of living. This hip hop, this rap shit, hip hop shit is a lifestyle of death, which is not a way of prospering and living. But it was a tool that was created by the devil to destroy a certain people and to accuse you. That's why all on the news, all you see every day, all the time, is acts of these so-called black people committing crimes, man. Which he forced our people into living like that, man. He talks about that in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, which I'm gonna bring out. You know, this is Habakkuk chapter 2. It says, this is on Habakkuk chapter 2 and 15. It says, woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that putteth thy bottle to him and maketh him drunken also, that thou mayest look on their nakedness, man. So that's basically what it is, man. That's that bottle, which is the wine that he's forced our people to drink, which is this lifestyle of hip hop that he created. You know, that there's information out there that, you know, CIA infiltrated, created hip hop. Also, going back to the guy Ronald Reagan, that's what it. You know, I did a lesson on some time back. How it stems from him and this hip hop shit, rap shit, even with this damn crack epidemic goes all the way back to your government, man. That's where it comes from, man. The smuggling, sneaking drugs in, it was all orchestrated by the so-called white man Esau Edom, the separate claim white man Esau Edom, to destroy a nation of people and to accuse you. You know, that's why it was created. The drug and the rap game go hand in hand, you know, and along with everything, the gangs and all that, you know, how they are today, you know. So that's that wine or that drink or that bottle that he put to his neighbor, which is the children of Israel, which is philosophy. It's a way of life, a philosophy. This hip hop shit that he created, they own all the record labels. Most definitely when it first came about, it was only so-called white men, Edomites, owning these record labels. You know, and going back to you know, going back to what I was saying about the AI, that's him still furthering this way of life to accuse us. So he's gonna make men seem like they're criminals, because that's already the image of the so-called black man. He's the criminal, you know, and Esau society in Babylon the Great, which is America. You know, the criminal, the face of criminality is the so-called black man. You see that when Trump came on national TV and held up two pictures of a so-called black man with dreadlocks, saying this is the face of evil. I think that's what, if I'm not mistaken, that's what he said. This is the face of evil, some along those lines. You know, I might be mistaken about what he actually said, but something along those lines, man. You know, this is the face of evil, and this killed this innocent young Ukrainian white woman. You know, so Jake is the face of evil, the face of criminality in Babylon the Great. You know, and that's through the manipulation and, you know, the creation and manipulation of a lifestyle that was created by the devil, man, to do, like I just said, to destroy a nation of people, or to destroy a nation of people, and further to destroy a nation of people and to accuse you, man. So this devil, you know, that's what they got a lot of these retarded niggas out here think, because they wanna take part in this shit that the so-called white man created. These crackhead niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, they think they're gonna duck something, man. But the Lord is coming with judgment, man. You know, that's what these damn retarded niggas, they think they're gonna duck something by figuring something out. They want to be complicit. They want to be alongside, like the scripture said, they want to join hand in hand and be alongside with this wickedness. You know, practicing like the scripture says in there, they practice this shit. So these devils and along with these cool ass niggas, they act like if I practice this wickedness, I'm gonna duck something. Nah, you ain't ducking shit, man. You know your ass finna get judged, man. That's what's coming, judgment, man. You know, and that's what these people don't understand. That's exactly what's gonna take place. That's what exactly gonna go forth, especially when the Lord takes his word away, you know, which is also around the corner. Because that's why this, like Trump said, we're gonna, he took away freedom of speech. You know, there's gonna, like I made a lesson on there's gonna become a time, I think I said it last week. There's gonna become a time that you can't say anything, man, especially if it's something contrary to the government, you're gonna be deemed a criminal, an enemy of the state, you know, a dissidence or whatever, man, which is more or less part of that Rex 84 plan, you know, along with these other agendas, operations, plots, and plans and shit, man. You know, so this devil is gonna come up. This devil is coming up with all forms of deception, man. Because that's another definition of the word devil is deceiver, right? So that's what devil, a definition or meaning of the word devil means deceiver or false accuser. So that's what devil means. So that's what this devil is going to do, these Edomites, to basically try to accuse the men of the Lord because they don't have anything on us, man. You know, they got to come up with something, just like they did our Lord Yahushua. You know, they didn't have anything for him to be put to death by, so they made something up. Because these wicked Jews at that time, they wanted to put him to death, so they had to make something up. So it was more or less sedition or treason. You know, that he was put to death on the Romans under the Romans law. They said it because he was claiming himself to be some type of king of the Jews. He was calling himself. He was basically going against the authority of the Roman Empire, man. So they charged them under the Roman law, whatever, you know, under their Roman law, the Roman law, whatever. They charged them with sedition or treason. So they had to put something there to give reason to put them to death. You know, so basically these devils are going to more or less try that same tactic. You know, because they don't have anything legal, anything in actuality to charge us criminally, especially of a death sentence. But that's what this devil is going to do. The attempts to do the more or less to try to stop this word. You know, so you see his kingdom is falling, and his kingdom is falling through the preaching of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, through the preaching of the Holy Spirit. I mean, the Holy Spirit of this word. The preaching of his word. So this devil is getting brought down because we are prophesying, man. So you try to put that to an end. You know, you got to make it seem like you're doing something wrong, man. You know, and these simple, like I said, these simple 2/3, man. You know, I was thinking about that earlier today. How that nigga Charleston White, even an idiot like that can see. You know, like these damn little niggas out here, they think, you know, because we saying it now, they want to act like they got some sense now. You know, you little niggas think they gonna go out there and start shooting at these military personnel. Like this dude said, even he can see it. You know, he can see, so you out there trying to think you're gonna shoot at these damn military personnel. If they don't kill you, they're not taking you to jail. He said you're gonna be labeled a domestic terrorist, and they're gonna send your ass to places like Guantanamo Bay, these other countries where they got these
Alligator, Alcatraz.
well, yeah, places like that that you think, or these yeah, these other countries also like Venezuela, where they got they housing these immigrants over there, and various other foreign countries. You go into places like that, your ass gonna be labeled a domestic terrorist, man. And there's a lady, she said they got a list out that is secret. And he said to be on that list, it's like it's easy to be on that list, man. If you they think that you're saying anything contrary to the immigration status, you can be on that list of a domestic terrorist, man. You know, you got something in mind other than what the government is saying about immigration, you can wind up on that list. You have ideas that's different, contrary to the white Christianity. You got
Plantation Christianity.
you got ideas opposite of that. You can wind up on that list, man. And that list is private. It's secret. Like nobody knows who's on it. So this devil can basically go to anybody's door and drag you out your house, man. What you seeing that happening right now. You know, nobody knows who's on this list. You know, nobody knows who's on this list. And
So, like, I'm gonna just speak this for a sec. Yeah, just like I was mentioning, some time ago, these people's so-called freedoms, man, disguised as rights, are being taken away, man. And I've been saying that for a while now, that these people here in Babylon the Great, aka America, is going to soon realize that this country is what the biggest dictator on the planet is these people here, these Edomites. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it right now. I mean, whether these people, like I said, you got some of them, they still trying to go about, daily routine, trying to give off some little feel like, because that's a facade until what? It's evident that you can't do the things that you do. So these people right here, because that's their mentality. They're gonna live it up until that moment actually come at their doorstep. Until then, they're gonna fake it until it's not. You know what I'm saying? But you could see policies that are in play. People are being, like I'm gonna say, not people, but this administration deployed the military. Because if you look at these other countries, like Africa, these Latin countries, you see even in the Middle East, man, you see the military or police presence walking around with guns on their shoulder strap. That's common, especially war-torn countries after these Edomites came in and destroyed their stability. You got the coups walking around with the military, people walking around with military grade weapons, roaming the streets. That's normal, man, and that normality is gonna come here. And also, I just saw recently, and this I'm gonna post that video. Maybe I can pull it up. Or whether I pull it up, but there was Edomite he was going into how they got Trump stating that Carter, is a country that heavily funds terrorism, but then they turn around and they're saying that they're building a Air Force base for Carter in the United States. I think it's Iowa, if I'm mistaken.
Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho. One of them, Iowa, Idaho is one of them, But yeah, so which one is it? They got these people. That's what these people been doing. Maybe these Edomites, they've been lying to these people, and all these people gonna believe, yep, they terrorists. I believe it because they, the justify is their differences. They believe in a whole nother religion. They speak a whole nother language. They're different from the American people. So we just gonna deem them terrorists because our government says they are, man. But yet they're doing deals And also they're building a golf course over there in business deals with the Trump, man. But yeah, he's gonna convince the people that they're terrorists. He's gonna go out and pretty much try to convince the people. Let me see if I can.
It's Idaho. Did you say Idaho?
No, I said Idaho. I think you said Idaho. I said Idaho.
I think I said Ohio. Whatever. It's Idaho. It's in Idaho. So yeah, that's where they're gonna build it. And like what I'm saying? Like, man, bringing that out and the facts behind it. This is supposed to be some terrorist or supporter of terrorism, Islamic terrorism, right? As they say. But they saying that they gonna build a military base, an Air Force military base on American soil. And a lot of Republicans are against that, if I'm not mistaken.
John, like, yeah, I got the video right here.
Did you see this nonsense with Qatar today?
The nation of Qatar, unfortunately, has historically been a funder of terrorism at a very high level.
Wait a minute, how did that get in there? My bad. This is the video I meant to show you.
Qatar asked for anything in exchange for that $400 million luxury jumbo jet. And how can the American people be so sure that they will not in the future?
I'm sorry. I meant to show you this video.
The Trump Organization, in partnership with Qatari Diyar and Dar Global, has announced its first real estate venture in Qatar, a $3 billion luxury development featuring the Trump International Golf Course and Trump Villas.
How do I keep messing this up? I'm so sorry. This is the video I meant to show you.
And I'm also proud that today we're signing a letter of acceptance to build a Qatari Emiri Air Force facility at the Mountain Home Air Base in Idaho. Location will be host a contingent of Qatari F-15s.
Did you see this nonsense with Qatar?
So yeah, so in one breath they're gonna call them terrorists, but then they're doing business deals with them, and then they're actually allowing what they want to say a foreign entity to build an Air Force base in the States of America, man. So you can tell, because that's the same thing these devils was doing when they was going around other countries. What they doing? Sitting military, military bases and stuff like that. Even though they hold a record of occupation on a military scale, on a global scale. They hold the record. The United States of America, Babylon the Great, they hold the record of occupation, military occupation on a global scale, man. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why is because that's what these devils doing, man. They can take numerous advantage of this. These false flag attacks, these terrorists, because they're saying Qatar. Also, I came across some information. They're saying Qatar is like the middleman. Because Qatar is actually have affiliations with what? The United States and Iran. So these countries are at odds, but Qatar is like that middleman to try to seek peace or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say. But see, this can go either way, man. You know what I'm saying? They can act like, oh, well, we're gonna build, we help the Qatar. Now they turn rogue. Now they become terrorists, and we gotta take these extreme, because that's what these devils gonna do, man. This whole lifestyle that these people come to live is gonna change dramatically, man. But they gonna push a NWO, man, a new world order, man. But that's all I want to say. But that's another thing. That's like that. As the scripture said, this devil has a forked tongue, man. He say one thing, and then he turns around and do the opposite, man. You can't trust somebody. You can't trust a double-minded man, man. That's what he is. He devil. He say one thing, and then he turns around and do something different. He's calling them terrorists, but he turns around allowing a so-called terrorist group to build a military, to occupy a military base in Babylon the Great, aka America, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of Republicans are opposed to that, man. And that's that division is getting more and more intense, and it's growing more and more. That division, not just the Democrats against the Republicans. These Republicans are divided against each other too, man. You know, through the acts of your current commander in chief, Donald Trump, man.
And I got to preach in this book of James 1:8. It says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And you could tell that's what his dude is, man. Everybody look at this guy like, man, this guy is, he's unpredictable, man. He's unstable, man. You know what I'm saying? To the, the things that come out of his mouth, to his policies, his decisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's deploying the military in these certain states in America without the wishes of the government nor the people, man. So that's being very unstable, man. So you don't know what's going to happen, the next day, And they said also, I saw also videos of this. There was somebody was posting a video. They said it's been 7 days, or when I'm not sure how long it's been today since the government shut down. I got to look, but I know it's been at least a week. Probably over. But they said it's been 7 days, and they had military personnel because when the government shut down, all government employees, including the military, are not getting paid. So they showed videos of these military personnel, man, in these in line at these food banks, man. You know how they give out food for for the needy. They had military personnel, man, in line at food banks because they didn't have money to get food, man. So you see what's going on. This dude is very, like, the things he's doing is very unstable, man. Because he matches that description of a double-minded man, man.
Yeah, I just looked up some articles on how the Republicans feel about this Qatar thing, this Qatar base. This is from Times Magazine. I was reading the headline. It said Trump is facing a MAGA backlash for Qatari Air Force facility plan, right? So these MAGA supporters are upset with this, right? There's another headline from Newsweek. It said Trump admin Trump admin sparks MAGA fury with Qatari Air Force base in U.S. betrayed. So I guess they feel betrayed. These facing back. Here's another one from the Hill. It says Hegseth blast by Loomer conservatives over Qatari Air Force facility in Idaho. Right, so that's that division, man. That is, along with a lot of other things this guy was doing, like him taking away these federal benefits. A lot of these Republicans, MAGA supporters, or whatever you call them, they are upset with a lot of things that Trump is doing, man. So like the Lord said he was going to do, he's causing division. The Lord said, "I come not to send peace on earth, but I come to send division." He's not coming to send peace. And also, I just looked up. Trump said it himself that he's a president of peace. You right? That's what Trump said he is. Let's see what we did. And these military personnel that's being deployed under the command of Donald Trump in these cities, a lot of MAGA people don't support that either. They're divided on that too, along with the Democrats, right? And like I said, there's a video or there's an interview not too long ago. Trump was saying that he's a president of peace. You know, that's what he said, you know, like we read that out of Daniel, the 28th chapter. It said in a peaceful time, but you know, there's a better, I like it how it's worded, you know, in King James. You know, this video here says President Donald Trump calls himself President of Peace, hails U.S. military under his leadership, right? So he declared himself as a president of peace, right?
Well, I love it. I mean, I think it's great. Let him be friendly. Let him be friendly with the generals and admirals from all over the world. Why is there something? Nobody's there something wrong. Well, I'll be there if they want me, but why is that such a big deal? I mean, the fact that we're getting along with the generals and admirals from all. Remember, I'm the president of peace. It's good to get along. It's good. You act like this is a bad thing. Isn't it nice that people are coming from all over the world to be with us?
It's not particularly unusual that general.
So he said he said himself that he was the president of peace. That's before the meeting of all these hundreds of generals. But you see how that played out. A lot of those generals, they didn't get Trump and Hegseth didn't get the response that they was looking for from these generals. Because during that meeting that they had with these hundreds of generals, it was silence. You know, nobody said anything really. You know, more or less, nobody was on board with what he was saying, man. Because more or less, they see it as they were basically giving orders to invade United States cities, man, and be against the citizens of those cities, man. Basically, that's what it was. They was giving orders to invade United States cities and be against United States citizens, man. So a lot of these generals was in silence during that meeting, but that's before that meeting, and he called himself the president of peace. But I'm gonna go back to Habakkuk, Daniel chapter 8 and 25, and read that out the New Living Translation, right? This has the book of Daniel chapter 8 and 25. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. Right? So that's what this double do. He go on the earth, go around the earth acting like he's the bringer of peace, man. Peace in the Middle East. That theme is still present today. You know, they're trying to bring peace to the Middle East. You know, they're trying to bring peace to the Middle East. He said he's the president of peace, but by peace he shall destroy many, man. You know, and that's what's really going on. You know, he's going around the earth talking about he's the spreader of peace, justice, but he's basically destroying people, man, in the name of peace. And he's also doing that now in the name of national security, which that aligns with peace. You know, security, you being secure is more or less aligns with peace, right? I think it tells you that. Peace and safety. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and 3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right? So basically, they know that's why these devils are trying to bring about peace, and that's their disguise, man. They disguise humanity. I mean, being humane and bringing about justice, peace for everyone, justice and peace for all people. That's a bunch of BS, man. That's the disguise that this devil is trying to rule the world in. So I'm gonna bring up peace. I'm gonna bring up law, of justice. It's all of disguise, man. You know. This is the book of Daniel 8:25 again. It says that through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. Right? So, that's basically this these devils, that's basically these devils, the Lord is laying this out. This is what's going to happen to these devils, man. The Lord is coming back to destroy Esau, Edom, his new world order plans, his world, his ideal of world domination through wickedness. He's trying to rule the world through wickedness. His reign of world domination. The Lord is coming to bring him to an end, man. He's going to be destroyed by the Prince of Princes. That's Yahushua, the one that the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He's going to come to destroy Esau, Edom, man. This is on Isaiah, Isaiah 60, it might be 66 or 63, to prove that, right? Isaiah 60, Isaiah 63 and 1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save, right? Yahushua the Messiah. Now I'm gonna read it out the Amplified version. It says, who is this who comes from Edom with crimson stained garments from Basra in Edom? This one, the Messiah, who is majestic in his apparel, marching in the greatness of his might. It is I, the one who speaks in righteousness, proclaiming vindication, mighty to save. So this is talking about the Lord Yahushua, the one people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. This is talking about him upon when he comes back, his second coming, man. The title of it reads, God's vengeance on the nations. So that's what the Lord is coming to do. The Lord is coming to take vengeance for the children of Israel, basically the elect of the children of Israel. He's coming to take vengeance, right? He says, verse 2, going back to the KJV, it says, wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden, verse 3, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me, right? Like it says, he was broken without hand, right? Isaiah 63 and 3, it says, I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. Verse 4, it says, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. Right? So that's what the Lord is coming to do, man. Vengeance. And he's coming to redeem the elect of the children of Israel. The elect, the 144,000 and the innumerable multitude, those are all Israelites. But they're going to look like all nations. Israel, the children of Israel today look like all nations throughout the planet Earth, because we are scattered among all people. So we look like all people, But But primarily it's primarily you look like the so-called your forefathers go back to the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. But but our people have been scattered throughout the world these many centuries. We look like all people on the planet Earth, So the Lord is coming to set vengeance, to destroy Esau, Edom, and to redeem the elect of Israel. Like I explained, so that's why excuse me, Salaki, that's why I prove that point. That's what the Lord is coming to do, man. We ain't making nothing up. This is what the Bible teaches. It's what the Bible says, and this is the true understanding of it. It's been sealed. The understanding of the Bible has been sealed until the end, until 50, 60 years ago, man. The Bible was sealed until those seals was broken by Yahushua to give the understanding. The seal was already broken, but the Lord sealed the understanding until the time of the end, which Yahushua was worthy to break those seals, right? Meaning that seal, meaning the understanding of the Bible, So yeah, that's what the Lord is coming to do, man. He's coming to destroy Edom, the nation of Edom, which is the self-proclaimed white race. This is another precept. This is Revelation chapter 19 and 15, and it says, "And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he shall smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty power, man, Yahweh, the Almighty God. That's what it says, but the Almighty power, Yahweh, man. That winepress, is the representation of the nation of Edom. This is Isaiah 34 and 5, which is another precept. He says, "For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idunia and upon the people of my curse to judgment." Man. So basically, that's what the Lord is coming to do, man. He's coming to judge the Edomites, man. And that's why a lot of them, they know, they feel in their spirit that's what's coming down. And like I said, that's why this devil is trying to stop this word. So he got to accuse us. You got to come up with these false accusations. Like I said, with this AI technology, that's a very high possibility that these devils can create these false images to blame the ministry, so they can say that, oh, you're a domestic terrorist, or you're spreading this false information, you're spreading hate, you incite what they call it sedition, because that's what sedition is. Sedition is conduct or speech that incites people to violence or something like that. So basically, they can say that us teaching the Bible or inciting people to go out there commit violence, basically sedition or whatever, man. And then they coming up with all these images and saying these men are out here doing all this, they doing that. That time what we're coming into. The Bible also says in second Ezra, I think it's chapter 15 or 16, I can't remember, that there shall be great confusion in the latter times, man. So confusion, that's what this devil is bringing. Confusion. People can't tell the truth, what's real from fake. It's great confusion. It's AI. These AI images that look realistic. You can't tell if this is real or fake. So even these political Biden that happened to Trump, all these images that they created, and they're getting more and more advanced with it and more realistic that you can't tell the difference, man. And it's already here, these images. So like I said, that's the reason why this devil is doing this, so he can stop this ministry, because he know this world is this word is destroying this kingdom, man. And that's why he's trying to put a stop to it.
Yeah, research in the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and 6 says, now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time, for the mystery of iniquity doeth work like it. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way, man. So what this devil is doing, the Lord is allowing him to do it, man. The Lord is allowing, he's letting him, let this devil do what he do until when? Because he's pretty much basically, he's digging his own grave, man. You know what I'm saying? What the path that this devil is going down, which is that broad destruction, is what that just like I said, it's destruction, man. You know what I'm saying? He's going down the direction that this devil is going is the way of destruction, man. Everything that he touches, he's bringing about death. If it be food, the air, water, whatever direction this devil goes, it brings about death. And the end result is what? Destruction, man. He's basically geared or wired for self-destruction, man. Because he is as death, man. So the Lord is allowing this devil to do what he do, let him until what? Until he be taken out the way, man. And we see what's going on. That's exactly what's is happening, man. This devil's gonna be taken out the way, but now he's just trying to build some bond with these countries to because the other countries, for example, like the BRICS nation, that's why they're allowing, you gotta understand, that's why they're allowing these other countries like Kako. You would think that you would never see of that day here in Babylon, the Great Achaemenid. Oh, you got a Arab country like Muslims, or at first when it was, since this tower situations, and in September, I'm not gonna go into it because you can't, like, these rights these people you people think you have, which are nothing more than privileges and that they snatch away at any given moment, however they feel fit. There was deeming these people as terrorists, man. Now they're allowing these people that were deemed terrorists to or affiliated with terrorists to either build or occupy military or have a military occupation here in Babylon the Great, man.
I'm gonna say like that, and that's not a wise move. That's not wise. The Lord said you're gonna destroy the wisdom of Edom. You're gonna destroy. That's not a wise decision to bring some type of party or foreign entity that more or less you already said out your own mouth that there's a terrorist, they're a funder of a terrorist organization. You said that after he said that himself, but they're gonna allow this country to have an Air Force base over here. To me, that's not a wise decision. And like I said, those headlines that I read earlier, these Republicans are divided, or they're upset. Man, they're furious that he allowed these Qatarians to build an Air Force base in America, man. Like I said, that's not a wise decision.
I got some more information on that country, Qatar. It said, and I sent it to Google. I said, is Qatar a known terrorist country? And this is the AIO view. It says, as of
late 2025, Qatar is not officially designated as a state sponsor of terrorism by the United States or by the U.S., but it has faced significant accusations regarding its relationship with terrorist organizations and finances. Its relationships with groups like Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood is a source of ongoing controversy, particularly after Hamas attack on Israel in October 2023. It says accusations of supporting terrorism. It says hosting terrorist leaders. It says Qatar has provided refuge to leaders of the U.S. designated terrorist organizations, or it's like read it again, hosting terrorist leaders. Qatar has provided refuge to leaders of the U.S. designated terrorist organization Hamas, with some members of its leadership remaining there as of early 2025. Hamas has also used Doha as a hub, if I'm saying that correctly, as a hub for diplomatic and financial activities. It says financing armed groups. Qatar has been accused of channeling funds to Hamas, which critics say contribute to the group's military buildup, including its ability to launch the October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. It has also faced allegations of funding other Islamic extremist groups in the region, such as those in Syria, Libya, and Mali. Yeah. So yeah, man, they got, according to this, they saying they got ties to terrorist organization. And what's that saying that they got over here? You're guilty by association. You know, birds of a feather flock together. So if you're working with terrorists, you're aiding, abetting. What you mean? You're aiding and abetting. You're allowing them to seek refuge in your country. Hey, these people, I'm not calling them terrorists. That's what they define. But yet you allow that country that supports, aids, and refuge Jordan-owned terrorist groups to build a military base in, you know, in the United States of America, man. Babylon the Great, man. So like I said, man, that's not, to me, we could care less, you know, because we see what's going on. We're not saying, oh, we wish, no, we just making sense. We just trying to really not make sense, but we're shedding light on the nonsense that these devils are doing, man. Because just like I said, that's not wise, man. And for them, that's not wise. In their eyes, it shouldn't be wise. But to us, we can care less. You know what I'm saying? But we know what's going on. You know, ultimately, these are chess moves, man. You know, that being played. That's why you see the president of the military, you know, like the topic that we bringing about this country that's being, you know, allowed to develop and occupy military, you know, base here in Babylon the Great. We know those are moves that are building up for that ultimate destruction, man. You know. Right, I got that precept. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 11. The book of Isaiah, chapter 11, and the book of Isaiah, chapter 19, and verse 11. I'm gonna read out the Amplified version. It says, "The princes of Zoan are complete fools. The council of the Pharaoh's wisest advisors has become stupid. How can you say to Pharaoh, I am a son of the wise, a son of ancient kings," right? So they're giving these advice, you know, making these advice, and you know, like I said, man, like that's not a wise decision. A lot of this stuff is you cutting off the federal government and not paying the military. You know, that's not a wise decision. You know, you cutting these government fundings from your people, having your people struggle financially, you know, with EBT, Social Security cuts, you know, other federal cuts. You know, he's making federal cuts, but he's funding other governments, like this Israeli state, for example. You know, he's giving these other countries in our Ukraine. He's giving these countries billions of dollars, man. Help funding them for whatever they need, but the people of your country is struggling and things like that, man.
Yeah, just like the video that I played, I think it was $3 billion to build a golf resort in Qatar, man. While they got a government shutdown and you deploy the military like the National Guard, that are paid through the government, through this government shutdown, you deploy these people, and now they don't have no paycheck. Just like I was saying, there's videos out there that show these military personnel in or at these food banks because they can't afford food, man. See, like that's like I mentioned, man, that's not wise, man. You know?
No, that's not a wise thing, right? Isaiah 19:11 again, it says the princes of Zoan are complete fools. The council of the Pharaoh's wisest advisors have become stupid. How can you say to Pharaoh, I am a son of the wise, a son of ancient kings? Verse 12, it says, where then are your wise men? Please let them tell you and let them understand what the Lord Yahweh of hosts has proposed against Egypt, if they can, right? So, you know, let them tell you. You got wise men, let them tell you what the Lord is going to do. You know, these devils don't know, they telling you some BS. This is verse 12. It says, where then, and then verse 13, I read 12. I'll read it again. Verse 12 again, it says, where then are your wise men? Please let them tell you and let them understand what the Lord Yahweh of hosts had proposed against Egypt, if they can tell. The princes of Zoan have acted like fools, and the princes of Memphis are deluded and entertain false hope. Those who are the cornerstone of our tribes have led Egypt astray. So that's what these devils are doing to the people, man, to you people, man. They leading you astray. They leading you into false hope. They entertaining you with false hope, man. You know. So these plans of Esau Edom is false hope, man. It's false hope and leading you astray. Talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, the children of Israel, you getting led astray by this the lies that's perpetrated by the devil. You know, this false hope that you think they can make America great again. The false hope of that, you know, that America's still gonna be here. You know, no, America got a expiration date, man. You know, the Lord is showing his signs that expiration date is close. You know, and he's going to destroy this place with fire, man.
God, I got a piece of the book of Job 5:13. He said, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the Lord is carried headlong. And I'm going to headlong with that. Headlong mean this is the
Strong's H 4116. My hand.
so headlong is my hair. In the outline of biblical usage, B3 it says a hasten, prepare quickly, do quickly, bring quickly. Just like I said, the Lord is prepared for this place, you know, to be done away with, man. Quickly, man. You know, so we see these moves.
Scripture says also, Salak, he says, I will make a speedy riddance or something along that line, or something along that line. I don't know it says speedy riddance, man.
God, I got it right here, the strong definition. It also says soon, make speed, speedily, straight away, suddenly, swift. So that's what this devil is going, because he, like mentioned earlier, he's going, his every road that he's going down, or that road that he's going down, you know, because he try to have different avenues once people find out, you know, he's being revealed, because he's in that season of being revealed. It's destruction, man. You know, he's going to that speedy destruction, man. You know.
Yeah. This is Zephaniah chapter 1 and 18. It says, Zephaniah chapter 1. That's gonna start 14. Zephaniah chapter 1 and 14. It says, the great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and haste quick greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble, that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by fire of by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Man. So that's what the Lord is going to do, man. The Lord is going to make a speedy riddance of these devils, you know, Babylon the Great, America, and he's doing it by fire. That's the ICBM nuclear missiles. That's the chariot fire, the chariot from the so-called UFOs. Those are that's that fire that the Lord is coming with, man. You're gonna come with these ICBM nuclear missiles, and the chariots gonna have concentrated energy beams, laser beams coming out there. It's gonna burn this motherfucker up, man. You know. So that's what the day of the Lord for Babylon the Great is doing. Is gloominess, destruction, wastage. I'm gonna read that 15 again. Zephaniah, the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and 15 says that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of cloud and thick darkness, man. You know, those mushroom clouds, you know, when those nuclear missiles hit, thick darkness, mushroom clouds, you know, straight wasteness, man. This place gonna be straight utterly wasted, man, by fire. You know, we not making anything up. You know, we ain't fear mongering what they try to allegedly accuse us of. You know, you see these things occurring. This martial law already in effect. People get hauled off the detention centers, prisons already in effect. These things that these people said conspiracy theories, which that's through the spirit. Conspiracy is in the Bible, man. You know, and I was looking at that earlier. You know, these things that people say are conspiracy theories. This Rex 84, for example, JM 15, with numerous other things or plans in events and operations that this devil try to hide. His plans he try to hide. You know that
Yeah, Project Pogo, Project Cypher, all these plans like that. But yeah, all these plans and stuff like that. That's why I mentioned earlier. He had different avenues. He had this plan, got this plan, he got that plan. Got all these different avenues where people reveal what his like being the season of this devil being revealed. He'll come up with another plan or another project. You know, I got a precept. This is the book of Jeremiah 49:7. And the subtitle reads, Prophecy Against Edom. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai of hosts. Is wisdom no more intimate? Is the counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan. For I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him, man. So the Lord is visiting this devil, man. He's going to bring what? A calamity, a great calamity to Babylon the Great, man. What I mentioned earlier is what? Destruction, man. That's why you see these foolish decisions that these devils make, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like to me, on their behalf, it wouldn't be wise to do that, you know. But look, you know, we're not saying, oh, this shouldn't happen. We want to live and be here in Babylon the Great, aka America, and be oppressed under these devils. No, man, we're not saying we just revealing the stupidity that these people do because they're not wise. They are actually children of fools, children of base men, you know, and it's being revealed. It's being shown, man, you know. But we see that why the decisions that they're making is because that's in their nature and because, you know, this devil's rulership, but that this you know, this rulership that he had, the Lord let him have, is coming to an end, man. You know, regardless of how these people want to look and act. Like I say, you got these stupid niggas, they're gonna be niggas regardless. They're gonna be niggas to the Lord, you know, to the like you said, to the cities laid wasted, man. I think that was in the book of Ezekiel, if I'm not mistaken. It said, how long, Lord? And he said, to the cities laid waste. Let me see if I can get that precept.
Yeah, but what I was saying before about these operations, plans, agendas, operations, plans, agendas, and there's another one, objectives or whatever. Operations, plans, agendas. There's a fourth, and I keep forgetting. But this devil, that's these plans that this devil, or what these people think conspiracy theories. But conspiracy is in the Bible, or conspires, the same thing. That's where conspiracy comes from. The word conspiracy comes from the word conspire. You know, basically the same thing. You know, an example of that, I'm gonna just try to make it quick. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 7. It says, but it came to pass that when Sanballat and Tobiah and the Arabians and Ammonites and Ashdodites heard the wall of Jerusalem were made up, and that the breaches began to be stopped, then they were very wroth, right? They got very upset, right? These heathens. Verse 8, which is the point, it says, and conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it, man. So these devils, you know, conspiracy, man. That's basically what these plans and plots is an idea to come together to plot against you, man. That's what conspiracy is. It's a plan, which I give the definition of the blue letter of conspire, you know.
Also, like what I was saying earlier, it's the book of Isaiah. 6 and 11. But, yeah. It wasn't Ezekiel, it was correction. You know, it was the book of Isaiah 6 and 11. But yeah, these like I said, these niggas, they're gonna be there to the day till you know the Lord destroy this place, man. These clown niggas, you can see it in these faces, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be in the same mindset. They think they got it figured out, just like Esau do. They like Esau mindset is they'll never be in adversity. You know, they think their house is gonna continue forever. You know, that's how these damn simple ass niggas. That's how they think, man. They think they got something figured out. They think this game that this devil is playing, these mind games, and these retarded niggas just sitting here quiet and living off impulse and instinct like a bunch of goddamn animals. You know what I'm saying? The animals that they really are. That is made to be captured and destroyed. The brute beasts that the scriptures talks about that's made to be captured and destroyed. That's how these niggas going about. Of impulse and instinct, not using their brain, because that's what this devil want. Like what is it? I think with David Rockefeller, one of his mottos or one of his quotes was, "We want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers." So that's what they attack. They attack your mind. You know, psychological warfare. You know, MK Ultra. You know, they use devices and other tactics, psychological warfare and other tactics with devices and all that. To combat people with critically think, that use your mind. You know,
and that right, it's like that, to make it clear, you can tell by that devil's quote, he's attacking people with the intellectual body, man. So these damn your average dummies, they don't care about it, because that's why you see them roaming around this prospering. Because they damn no threat, man. They're attacking people with intellect that can see. It's like I want to read this the precept out of Isaiah.
right.
It's Isaiah chapter 6, and I'm starting at 9. It says, and he said, "Go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate, man." So that's how these niggas gonna be. They gonna, like you said, the Lord said, go tell these 2/3, but they're gonna hear and understand not. They're gonna see and perceive not, man. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be that way until what? This place be utterly destroyed, man, laid desolate, man. So we're not shocked, you know, we're not behooved, and that's the expression on these people's face, because the Lord said he's gonna bring back what? He's gonna deliver a remnant of his people. So we're not shocked. We're not surprised that these people look at us like the Lord said, the wisdom of the Lord is foolish to these people, man. That's how they look at us, because these people are occupied in what's going on in the here and now in this world ran by the devil, man. You know, this is
Being
the devil.
deceived by the God of this world.
Come on. There are these people here, especially 2/3 of Israel, you know, I'm gonna say the 2/3, you know, they're occupied with what's going on in this society, man. You know, the nonsense of this world, man. But the Lord told us to come out of her, man. You know, we're living here, but you know, we're on another spiritual wavelength, man. You know.
Right. Yeah, but going back to these so-called conspiracy theory, that's in the Bible. Like I read out of the book of Nehemiah chapter 4 and 8, which I'll read again. The book of Nehemiah chapter 4 and 8. It says, and conspired all of them, these heathens. That's what he's talking about. And conspired all of them together to come and to fight against Jerusalem and to hinder it, man. So that's what they did. And also the word conspiracy is in there, the Bible. But also, like I said, that's where conspiracy comes from, the word conspire. And you go into the blue definition.
Strong's H, 7194. Kasher.
Whatever the Hebrew, word on it, pronunciation of it, roughly. It says the outline of biblical use. It says to bind, tie, bind together, league, together, conspire, right? But then we're gonna jump down to the strong definition to let you see that conspiracy is in there, right? You go down, it says make a conspiracy or make a conspirator, right? So conspiracy, it says conspire. It's also said conspiracy, and it says conspirator, right? So that's conspiracy is in the Bible, man. The conspire is in the Bible, and and also I'm gonna look up the definition of conspire.
Conspire.
The word conspire. The definition, it says make secret plans jointly, right? It's a secret plan. So like the scripture says in the book of Psalms, I think 62 or 63, the secret counsels of the wicked. It's a secret. These they ain't doing that. Like you said, these so-called conspiracy theories, J-Hell 15. You can see that activated now. Martial law, FEMA camps. And these people say, oh, that's conspiracy theory or fear mongering, Rex 84, Project Pogo, Project Zypher, and many others, man. You see these things taking place even right now, man. They taking place. Martial law. People, these nuclear World War III. People saying that was a conspiracy. One world government, a new world order. Those are conspiracies. But these things are being talked about from your president all over the globe. And,
Martial law.
Right, martial law.
That's a conspiracy.
These things, new world order, one world government. All these things are conspiracy theories with many others, but they're being talked about frequently from these leaders of different countries all over the earth, right? So this word conspire, the definition, it says make secret plans jointly. It says to commit an unlawful or harmful act, man. Right? So that's what it is, So it's a secret plan. People join together jointly. So the word conspiracy is in the Bible, man. And also the word literally conspiracy is in the Bible. But I just went to the word conspire. Right? So it is a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy is just what it is. And it's not, but it's not a theory. It's like a theory is something that people assume. It's a conspiracy nonetheless, So it says conspire, the definition again, it says make secret plans jointly to commit an unlawful or harmful act, right? A plot, scheme. The scripture also says I think it's 2 Corinthians chapter 2:11. 2 Corinthians chapter 2:11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we are also going to read out the Amplified translation. It says to keep Satan from taking advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his schemes, man. His conspiracy theories, right? His conspiracies, his plots, It's schemes. Same difference, man. Conspire is a scheme. It says the scheme is the definition of scheme. It says make plans, especially in a devious way or with intent to do something illegal or wrong. And a lot of these acts that Trump is taking, that Trump is enacting and acting upon, like putting the military in these cities, they're saying it's illegal. One way shape or one way form of fashion. It's unconstitutional. They're having legal issues with it now. Judges saying, no, you can't go into Chicago, for example. The judges bar you for going in Chicago, but he's doing it anyway. So more or less, that's a scheme. That's a conspiracy. That's something he conspired. The heads of this government conspiring against the citizens of America, basically, man. You know? So it is a conspiracy. These conspiracy, quote unquote, theories are real. They are not theories. No, they are conspiracies, but they are conspiracies nonetheless, man. It's a plot against you, you know? And that's these plans and these agendas that this devil is bringing about. That's why we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, because the Lord says that their own tongue shall fall upon themselves, and that's what's going on. But these people, when people bring out this information, people don't want to believe it. You know, they don't want to believe that these things are happening. You know, they want to live in this make-believe world that whatever narrative the devil put out there is real. And whatever information narrative that this devil puts on the media about anything is real, and that's all we're gonna deal with. You know. So basically, like I said, man, these things are coming about. These so-called conspiracy theories are coming about, and conspiracy conspires in the Bible. Conspiracy is in the Bible.
I got a precept. This is a book of 1 John chapter 3 and 8. It says, he that committeth sin is of the devil, for the devil sinneth from the beginning, for the purpose of the Son, for this purpose, the Son of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai, was manifest, that he might destroy the works of the devil, man. That's why, this sinful society, kingdom that this devil orchestrated, for that purpose, the Lord is what? Yahweh Shai is going to come to what? Destroy, man. That's the reason. That's the end of this devil's rulership, man. When our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, which is his purpose, is to what? To come and deliver the elect and destroy this wicked society. Because if this lifestyle that this devil doing remains, man, there will be no flesh that's worthy actually not even worthy. There will be no flesh left to save, man. Everybody will be dead, man, because this devil promotes what? This damn alphabet crew life, passing laws to protect them, going to the point that these foods are needed, the food that we consume lack the nutrition that the body needs to survive and sustain and repair itself, will result to chemical GMOs that are more harmful than good, cancerous, forever chemicals in your foods, your water, in your clothing, you breathing in these toxins in the daily, chemtrails. This, like I was mentioned earlier, man, this devil, all he promotes is death, man. If this society continues to run and continue on, there will be no flesh left to save, man. Everybody be dead, even this devil himself, man. Self-destruction, man. He's gonna destroy himself. So we need the Lord to come, man. And that's what we hoping for. We already know through the Spirit what's going to happen. But the Lord said what? None of these, roughly paraphrased, none of these prophecies shall fail, man. You know, so we just patiently waiting, man. You know, and we sitting back watching, we seeing, because the Lord said what? Watch as well as pray. We see what's going on, man. You know, but you can tell by the mentality of these simple Negroes around here. They like it the way it is, man. They like to be under the oppression of these pale faces, man. You know, being get like the majority of these niggas, regardless of what wing they're affiliated with, these niggas get permission to live, man. They have to get permission to be a part of these devil organizations, and they disguise it as equality. See, we got a black mayor, we got black judges. These motherfuckers, these niggas are getting permission, man.
You know, they more or less control our position. They puppets, man. In real blackface. You know what I'm saying? Puppets in real blackface, man. Control our position, you know. A lot of them there, these nigga men, you know what the fuck they do? Corruption. You know what I'm saying? Money laundering, and they getting damn taxpayer money, it's winding up in their pockets, man, basically. They're finding ways to put it in their pockets, man. Them and their friends and buddies and shit. Same thing Esau Edom do, but Esau Edom does on a higher scale for the longest and never get caught. A lot of times, never get caught. But these simple Negroes, they think once they get in this job field, they can do the same thing that these so-called these simple clean white people do. Nah, you can't. You know.
Mentioning that, I seen a video not too long ago. You know, there was Judite female. She perceived to be a Judite female. She was going into where this current administration found out that there were 170 millionaires, man. You know, during the Biden administration, over that short period of time. He said at first there was like, they said before that Biden administration, they were probably, I don't know, they were like teens, maybe like 17 or something, you know, there weren't that many, you know, or like or something like that, millionaires that were federal employees. And they said within that short period of time, span of time during the Biden administration, it grew to 170 millionaires, man. And there was like, how can these federal employees become millionaires in that short time with a salary? They said the average salary is like, I think they said like $83,000, like a little over $83,000 a year. But these jokers became millionaires within, you know, that short time span. Oh, that's what these motherfuckers do, especially during that administration, man. These jokers, like when these funding going to these cities, man, they keep it for themselves, man. They saying, oh, well, we getting funding for here, we're gonna distribute, man. They pocketing that money, man. You know, and all of them, you know, buddy, hush, go. They gonna get my cut, you gonna get your cut.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like this, you gonna be like that. That's how they do it, man. And that's what them funds are coming from, what? Taxpayers' money, man. You know what I'm saying? So basically, they're robbing the people. The fact that they're by these politicians, the fact that they're by all of them, that's what they're doing. They're pointing a finger at each other, man. The Democrats pointing fingers at the Republicans, vice versa, man. You know what I'm saying? But all of them shady, man. And all of it is nothing more than a game, because they're telling you the corruption and wickedness that they do. And both of them do it on both sides. The Republicans have their portion of wickedness. The Democrats have their portion of wickedness. And they, like I said, it's the time of being revealed. It's being revealed, but what's happening about it? Because this is the devil. This is this devil's rulership, man. Like for instance, this dude that's in office now. If this was a righteous, so-called law-abiding society, you won't have this character in office right now, man. But like I said, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying, pointing that it's the obvious, man. You know, because it's ran by the devil, man. like Job 9:24, the earth, you know, which is a popular scripture that we bring out. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. These wicked ass people, the Lord allowed them to go forth to conquer, man.
Even I'm gonna just bring this out too. I think from where I work, because I've been mentioning this to a couple employees where I work at, man. Guys I work with, about this robotics, about they bring robotics in because I think what manager or whatever he's going off to some damn foreign country to look at these goddamn machines that they're gonna bring back over here, man. That's more or less gonna do a lot of the work. And then, like I said, one of the guys that worked there, he said, worked there. He tried to apply one of these warehouses around here. He said the majority of the work is being done the majority of the work being done there is by robots, man. And I already said that shit, but a lot of them brushed it off like it was like not really gonna happen and all that. But I told them that, man. I was like, man, you can watch it, man. I was like, because that's through the spirit or through the words of Yahweh Shah, and through us observing what's going on, watching what's going on in the world. Because this fourth industrial revolution, it's a world event. They trying to, it's digital. Everything's going to be digital, AI, and robotics, right? Which you can look up the fourth industrial revolution, and then it basically tell you what it is. But nonetheless, they said that I think that's what somebody was telling me, that he's going over there to some foreign country to use some damn well, I don't know where the fuck he going. Somewhere.
Or one of those area, Oriental countries, Indonesia, somewhere, Japan. It may not be China, maybe Japan, but they got conflict over there.
I don't know where he's going. I don't know if it's a European country. I don't know where he's going for real. I'll probably find out later. But he's going there to look at some machines that they're going to send back over here to more or less do a lot of the work at this company, man. So I don't know how that's going to come about. What that really is going to be about or whatever. But that's what was said today.
Yeah, just like I said, man, a lot of these jobs, like these, like I seen multiple videos. They said that a lot of these people, especially like when it comes to customer service, they said a lot of that stuff is being taken over by AI, man. You know what I'm saying? Some places, like when you call customer service, like you can't even get nobody. You got to go through the AI joint, AI prompts, hit 2, 3, whatever to resolve your issue. You're not actually talking to what they call a live agent anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? Or some cases, man. So yeah, that's what it is. This technology, AI, or animation. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is being taken over. But these machines are taking over. Also, I also saw a video too. I think it was in Dade in Florida, Dade County, if I'm mistaken. Dade County. Wow, how do you pronounce it? This guy called it RoboCop. But they're trying to introduce a self-driving police vehicle where it patrols the neighborhood, scanning, with infrared technology, and able to detect what they consider crime activity and report back. And these while the police can monitor what's going on at the without actually leaving. They got these self-driving cars where they got drones on the top. They can dispatch a drone. It's equipped with a drone. There is it's all AI self-driving. The police they got cameras so the police can see it at their precinct. And they, so yeah, man, that's the direction that these people are going, man. Also, what they say, because they're trying to become like I was saying, this is a global thing. Like China, I also saw a video about they were saying
Facial recognition,
they were saying that
surveillance, cameras.
I saw a video about China. They said that everything over there is pretty much they're doing away with cash and everything is digital. And they said a lot of these young
Digital ID.
They said a lot of these young Chinese that's over there in China. A lot of these young Chinese people are homeless because of their social credit score, man. Because they're not able to, they can't. Once you get to a certain level, you're not able to, have access to these, like these digital payment methods, and they're becoming homeless. They're sleeping out on the street, man. So that's what it's
Kicked out of society.
yeah, that's what they're trying to develop to a dystopia, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't do just like Trump saying, like there's people here that say they call him what? A dictator. They say that what he's doing, he's issuing he's calling for I forgot the mayor, maybe the mayor of Chicago, one of these mayors, to be arrested.
Yeah, he called for the governor.
Yeah, the governor. Yeah,
no, the governor. The governor of Chicago, the governor of Illinois.
Yeah, to be arrested.
He said the same thing about the governor of California. He called for his arrest too earlier, like some months back.
Yeah, I think they say he actually did arrest one judge in one particular state. I don't know if he's a federal judge. He was a judge. They said he actually did arrest him. So it's like if you don't go with the status quo, you could be kicked out of society, man. If you don't do what whoever's in leadership, just like example, this administration, you don't do as they say, you're going to be demonized, man.
And what that dude, Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, he said he liked how China is ruling their people, man. He said he liked that. I like how they're doing what they're doing, man. That he saw even the wiki. But this fourth industrial revolution, I got to pull up here just to get some understanding to what it is. It said the fourth industrial revolution, 4IR, is a new era of technological advancement characterized by the fusion of the physical, digital, and biological worlds, right? So let that sink in, man. It's a fusion of the physical, digital, and biological worlds, man. So basically, what John the Revelator saw, right? And the book of Revelation chapter 13, 16 through 18, man, a fusion of the physical, digital, and biological world, man. This done through technology, which is the RFID microchip, man. And that's a part of the fourth industrial revolution. That's what this devil is trying to bring about. That's where the world as a whole is moving towards, of this new world government, this new world order, this one world government, new world order, which is the Great Reset, the fourth industrial revolution. You reset the whole world, and the whole world is going to become some digital, technological, robotic era. That's what this devil is trying to bring about. A new era of technology. The fourth industrial revolution is a new era of technological advancement characterized by the fusion of the physical, digital, and biological worlds, driven by technological. No, it's technological G's, like artificial intelligence, in the Internet of Things, robotics, and 3D printing, man. So artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, look that up. The Internet of Things, that's uniting. Everybody's going to be united together by the cloud, by these computer chips, man. Everything's going to have a RFID microchip in it,
They're connected to the grid.
connected to the cloud. You know, everybody's going to be connected through the cloud. You know, that's what the Internet of Things is. Robotics, digital printing, coined by Klaus Schwab, founder of the World Economic Forum, and the FIR is fundamentally changing how we live, work, and relate to each other, leading to profound economic, social, and cultural shifts, man. It's a world thing, man. It's a global thing, you know. On the book of Revelations 12 and 12, man. Which I'm gonna just bring it out. The time of trouble, right? Revelation chapter 12 and 12, it says that therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth he have but a short time, right? So that's why this devil was bringing these plans or agendas these schemes, plans or agendas that we was talking about earlier. You know, these so-called conspiracy theories, this one world, this new world order, that they said that's a conspiracy theory. One world government is changing how people interact socially, culturally, and you know what else it says, economically, man. Because economically, you spending, you know, how you functioning, spending, buying, and selling, right? And it's a world thing. Might be what this devil's trying to bring this about. Might be Revelation. You know, this digital era. Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring out. That so this digital era is basically a part of the new world order. This fourth industrial revolution, this great reset. That's the reason why they're shutting the government down. The government is being shut down because why they can't pay their they can't pay their debts, so they need a great reset, man. You know, and also that's aligning with that. A lot of people are being laid off, man. You know, which is prophecy, which which is talked about in the book of Isaiah 19, which we brought out. There shall be no work for Egypt, because more or less they're trying to bring about what is this universal income. Nobody's going to be working, or fairly, you know, like little to nobody's working, and only thing that's going to be doing the work around it, or the work really is these robots, man. That's what's going to be doing the work around here, really, man. You know, it's these robotics, man. You know, that's what's going to be doing the work, and everybody for the most part is going to be on some damn fucking universal income. You know, so this devil trying to rule the world, man, take over, and you people ain't got no rights. You don't got no say. You don't have any voice. You know, go get along with the program and get put to death. Draconian laws, man. Basically, like I was talking about. And you speak again. What you say about Trump? If you say something against whatever he's saying or whatever, you know, or whatever current administration, whatever they're saying, your credit score, you know, you can be beat. More or less, that's draconian laws, man. You know, draconian is do whatever I say or else face the consequences. You know, but this is Revelation chapter 3 and 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth," man. So that's what it is. It's a great shift economically, culturally, and socially. man. It's a great shift, economically, socially, and culturally. Is fourth industrial revolution, which is that that what I was read out of Revelation chapter 3, man. The time of the hour of temptation. So that's why I meant to say earlier. That's what I really want to bring out this precept. So like here, the water hour about shot. This is what I want to bring out: the hour of temptation that we shall come upon all the world. Right? This is a global thing. The new world order. It's a shift, like it says. It's a profound. What is it? Leading to profound economic, social, and cultural shifts, man. You know, so it's a global thing, man. World Economic Forum. It's a world event. Revelations 3 and 10 again, it says, but thou shalt have, but what's like here? Revelations 3 and 10 again, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, right? So that's what's coming, man. You know, along with this law and order, this devil is going to come into these cities. You know, this devil coming into these cities with military personnel coming into these cities and rounding you people up, haul you away to these detention centers and give you an ultimatum: either get the microchip or be put to death, beheaded. People are gonna be tortured, and all type of inhumane acts are gonna be happening there. Rapes, cannibalism. There's gonna be a shortage of bread. Cannibalism. People gonna be cooking their own children. You know, eating their own family members. You know, motherfuckers will be out here hunting for flesh, people, food. I mean, they're gonna be hunting for people, for food. This is the time that we're coming into, man. You know, apparitions. You know, because this devil's got great wrath, man. He's gonna starve people out. You know, all type of shit can be going on, man. The time, like I said, it's gonna be a time. Daniel 12 and 1. It's a time like none other on the planet Earth, man. That's what we're coming into, you know. You know, and these people they don't think it's gonna happen until it's too late, you know. It's gonna be too late, you know, because they can go around and move around and do something right now, go to the corner store and go out, take me a job and go to a restaurant, get me some food, sit at the diner, dine in and get some food and think everything's a joke and a game. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, you gonna see how much is a joke in a game when it's when the shit right in your face, man. You know. That's why a lot of these people think, man. You know, these people think, you know, shit is a joke, shit is a fucking game, because they can still go around and do wickedness. You know, they can still go around and commit acts of wickedness. They think everything's a joke. It's just a joke. It's a game. It ain't serious. You know, the devil got a lot of these people occupied with bread and circus. So I can still watch a football game, you know, so I can still watch a basketball game, baseball, or whatever you into, soccer, whatever you into. That's preoccupation. Like another definition of the word entertainment is distraction. There was a fucking so that's all that shit is it's a distraction. You know, it's okay to watch sports or whatever, man. There ain't nothing wrong with it. But if you just that's all you do, that's all you know, you're being distracted, you know, for what's going on in the world. That you don't know about worldly politics, what's going on in the world. You're supposed to be what's going on with your government, what's going on with these presidents, but you're supposed to be an active. They want you to go out and vote though. So let that make sense to you. These people want you to go out and vote, but you don't know what the fuck's going on in your government. You know, you don't know what party likes this, what government, what you know, what political leader is like this, or what's going on with this political leader, what's going on with that, what's happening here, you know. But these people want you to go out there and vote, you know, but you don't know what's going on. They're like, man, you know, but they watching goddamn sports all goddamn day. You know what I'm saying? Fucking retards, man. Watching goddamn sports all goddamn day. Don't know what the fuck going on in the world, man. You know, this devil, people are being locked up, carried away, what they call disappeared. People are being disappeared. People are getting rounded up. They sending military personnel of people in cities, deeming certain cities they deem in certain cities basically I can't remember. I'm trying to put it right, but basically they make it saying certain cities in this area are deemed they need to be taken over. Basically, man, they need somebody to go in there and clean up the crime in these cities, man. You know, that's what they're saying, and a lot of them are so-called black cities, black areas, where so-called black people reside at. They deem these cities, these places hostile, more or less, man. Hostile territories that the military can come in and use as a training ground. You know, crime is running rampant. And that's Ezekiel 7, you know. The book of Ezekiel, chapter 7. But I'm gonna come up. Ezekiel 7. The book of Ezekiel chapter 7, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. Right? It says, behold, it is come, the morning is gone forth, the rod had blossomed, pride had budded. Verse 11, it says, violence is risen up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs, neither shall there be dwelling for them. The time is come, the day draweth near. Let not the buyer rejoice, or the seller mourn, for wrath is upon all the multitude thereof, right? Verse 13, for the seller shall not return to that which is sold altogether, they were yet alive. For the vision is touching the whole multitude thereof, which shall not return, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life. Right? So, like I said, because these devils think you can go around and do wickedness. That's what iniquity is. Iniquity is is sin on top of sin. Sin on top of sin. Basically, you committing acts of wickedness. You people think because you out here, you going out here committing wickedness, everything's all good. But the Lord said, neither shall any strengthen himself in the iniquity of his life, man. You know. I'm gonna read it out there. I'm gonna read that out of the Amplified version, verse 13. Ezekiel 7:13. It says, for the seller will not regain and return to what he sold, even were they yet alive. For the vision of punishment regarding all the multitude of the people will not be turned back, nor will any of them sustain his life because of this sin, right? So that's why these people is, because you going out here committing acts of wickedness, committing acts of sin. You think everything's all good, man. You know. I'm gonna jump down to I'm gonna keep reading. Ezekiel 7:14, going back to the new King James version. It says, they have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none go up to the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within, right? The sword is without. It's around you, all around you. The sword it's all around you. You know, more or less in these rural areas too. These rural areas, these country areas. That's where the sword is going to be. You know, you think you safe out there, the sword is out there a lot. People with guns and shit. That's what the modern day sword is, warfare, guns and shit, right? That's the modern day sword. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within these cities. Man. Pestilence and famine is going to be within these cities, right? And the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him, right? But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity, right? All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. So that's the time that we're coming in. The sword, pestilence, and famine, man. Like I said, the book of Lamentations, you can go in there, the book of Lamentations, I think chapter 4 or 5, because the book of Lamentations is only 5 books long, or 5 chapters long, so they tell you about the famine, man, how these women was cooking their own children, man, during the famine, man. So these things are going to come about, man. Great famine. These people think it's all good because they commit wickedness. They commit, acts of iniquity because the wicked himself is allowing you to do so. Or the wicked, the devil, saying I can be wicked. It must be good. Everything's all good, man. So I can get away with it. My master, the devil, ain't got no problem with it. What the fuck is you saying something about it? He knows that's basically what these niggas' mindset is, man. My master, the devil, allowing me to do these things, allowing me to live wickedly. Who the fuck are you, man? Basically, like if you tell me that's how these damn niggas' mindsets is, man. But I'm gonna go jump to Ezekiel 23. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 23. It says, make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence, man. So basically, even though they said by statistics, violence and crime is down, but nonetheless, it's still rampant, man. It's still plaguing this place, man. And that's what the Lord is. That's why people are being hauled away in handcuffs. I'm gonna read it out of the amplified version. That chain, right? Ezekiel 7:23 says, prepare the chain for imprisonment. These people are being locked up because of why? Because Trump said we got a crime crisis, more or less. There's a crime crisis, a crime problem in these cities. So he's gonna haul your ass away, man, to these concentration camps in chains, man, locked up. Ezekiel 7:23 at the Amplified version. This is Amplified version. It says, prepare the chain for imprisonment. For the land is for the bloody crimes, murders committed under the pretense of civil justice, and the city is full of violence, man. So, because that's why a lot of these think they want to go and take law to their own hands, you know, and go out there and commit these acts and murders, you know, under the pretense of justice or whatever, like the scripture says, you know, all types of shit, man.
Got anything else?
Yeah, that's it. But that, like it is, man. That's what's coming. The sword, pestilence, and famine, man. That's coming, man. That's strong. You know, it's gonna be strong, man. This devil's gonna do it. You know, the Lord's gonna allow him to do it.
That's going to end our lesson. Before we close it out, we give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rakakadash.
It's Shaggy Joseph.
It's the brother of Bakala Wala.
And Lord willing, we'll be back to do another lesson. Until next time, Shalom, Rock Thumb, and Baba Ball. Shalom.